Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Aussie today? Well, quite simply, in my opinion, trade something else. It's absolutely insane. If you have a look at what we're doing, is we are basically moving 1,000+ points every day. Okay, so if you've got big kahunas, you'd be trading this with massive contracts and bagging your 1,000 points a day. But it's insane. I mean, you can't. As a retail trader, it's very, very difficult to trade this correctly. Okay, so I'm still staying out of it. I'm not really touching it. But for those of you that are brave, let's see what we can find out. Okay, so we do have a level here that is developing, which is 46,569. Let's call it 46,580. Okay, we do have a grouping of the oscillators to the downside, which is a one thing, and the other thing that we did have was a gap up out this trend line, but then we pretty much are back in the trend. Okay, so there's nothing I can read into this, and markets have inertia. So what has been happening the last couple of days? It's up, down, up, down. I suspect we're going to have an update today. Okay, so bounce off here and probably come and test the top of this range, which to me is going to be around here at 47,563. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. This is still a inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. Well, actually not an inside bar at the end. So it's inside bar, inside bar. This is a bearish engulfing. Okay, so we've got a bullish pattern and then we've got a bearish pattern. So complete indecision. If we look at this on the weekly, we are definitely trying to close below the 200 EMA on the weekly. Okay, and you've got large institutions that are playing this 200 simple moving average and the 200 exponential moving average. They're looking for closes below it to indicate a long-term downtrend. Okay, so let's just get to the hour. And to be quite honest, yesterday I didn't even bother looking at this. So we had a decent gap up, hit a level, and we bounced down. Okay, now we are pretty much flirting with this level here. So you can see there's inside tails, there's a swing low, and we're coming to test the swing low again. Okay, my oscillator is starting to group against the downside. Let's just look at the 4 hour. Okay, I do have a bigger double top in play. What would be nice is for this bottom level to hold of 46,330. If that level can hold, then we should see another attempt to the upside. So the interesting thing to note here is you see how we broke through the moving averages, and I often say we're waiting for a retest of the moving average. We had a bit of a retest here, but then we broke back through it. So we're back below the moving averages. So in other words, we've had 1, 2 attempts to break through the moving averages, and the moving averages didn't cross over. Okay. Now I'm looking for my third attempt to break through, and I'm looking for the moving averages to cross over. That may start giving me some confidence that we have some long-term upside to come. But for now, I'm going to just treat this as a range. In actual fact, I'm not trading it, so I would advise anybody that's trading this to treat it as a range and look for your entries here. Your problem, well, it's not really a problem. So you can have a fairly close stop, and a fairly close stop is going to be around 200 points. Okay. Ideally, you want to be below this level here, but that is a good 880 points away. Okay, so that's a little bit of a big risk, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of the way I see this at the moment, and then again, you can see how the 200 moving average comes into play. So 200 moving average plus a level, you've got 2 indicators that are telling you there's a turn coming, plus you've got all the oscillators here, and we're on the half hour. See, we're outside the Bollinger Band. We're grouping to the upside. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 signals there. So that was a fairly significant short that we had there, even though we gapped up. What did we gap up? 300 points. Okay. So yeah, so I think that is that's kind of the view that I have at the moment. I treat this as a range, and I would be looking to get long if I was trading this. The problem is I've only got a level. I don't have anything else. So there's no moving averages. There's no, the oscillators are, starting to, I've got some diversions here, which is good. And we do have some signals here as well. So now that is indicating that we're looking to move the top. And as I say, markets have got inertia. And what's been happening the last couple of days is up, down, up, down, up, down. So I expect another update today. Okay. Before we leave, let's just step onto the ichimoku. And I think I'm going to start doing this more often. It just gives you an indication, especially when we are trending and when we are ranging. So you can see on the 4 hour, we were trending down. And now we are ranging. You can see how the Kijunsen and Tekinson, the red and blue lines here, are lying flat. Okay, my Williams percentage R is in the overbought territory, so I would expect another move to the upside. So there's nothing really here indicating a bigger trend change on the 4 hour. And remember what we want. We want a crossover of these, they're actually moving averages, but we want a crossover of Tekinson and Kijunsen. We want a crossover of these two lines, or we call it a twist in the cloud. So we want a crossover. In other words, I want to see this go green. And then I want Chikuspan, the brown line, to break through price, through Tekinson, and through Kijunsen. So that would indicate that I have a bigger trend change. And I'm looking for that pretty much on the 4 hour, because you can see when I get that, look at your trend. So you can basically get in on the trend and you can be comfortable enough to just let it run until it starts running out of steam. And this is where it's running out of steam. Okay, you could leave it. And again, you've got to have some strong discipline, because when it starts swinging 1,000 points, it makes your eyes water when you see your profits zeroed by 1,000 points. Okay, so last thing we want to do is just get down to a lower time frame on the ichimoku, and you can see that we had a break above the ichimoku. You can see how some of the buyers tried to step in on the cloud and Kijunsen here, and they failed, and it pushed it to the downside. So now the next level is pretty much down here. So that's our line in the sand for now, which is 46,363. If that gives way, expect the downside to continue at least until 45,765. Okay, and failing that, then I think you can expect a lot more downside. Okay, so yeah, so for me at the moment, I'm really not even interested in this. I don't have the desire to run 800 point stop losses right now, and I also don't have the desire to trade the crazy spreads that they're offering on the Aussie right now. So I will stick to the Dow or the DAX if I see something there. Otherwise, we're just going to let it lie. Get on with life, and I'll come back when this noise has settled down. Okay, so anyway, so that's kind of my take on this. Treat it as a range if you do want to trade it, and you're looking for longs off the bottom here. And if it's not this bottom, it could very well extend further down into this area here of 45,760 to create a bigger consolidation range. Okay, so anyway guys, that's it for me. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.